Namaste, viewers. Welcome to Degula channel. In the story section, we'll go through this important story. This story leads to a very great event which happens during this Mahabharata period. So that is Sarpayaga. This is the background which happens in the background. This is the story which leads to this Sarpayaga. Now, before we go to the details, I request you to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Now, the story goes like this. This is the story of a sage, Shamika. Shamika was the name of the sage, and the king's name was Parikshit Raja. He was a great king. So, as usual, all these sages live in deep forests, because the deep forest you get the serene atmosphere. You are with nature. There's no hurry-burry. There's no hurry-burriness of a city and all those things. Calm, cool, and then lonely place where isolated places where you can pursue your tapasya. You can penance, things like that. This sage Shamika was very wise, and he was very peaceful in his whatever he does. He would be doing things at peace. He was very much loved by the nearby villagers and the people who lived in the forest dwellers. A lot of small families, they used to live in the forest. They all loved him. They had great respect for this Shamika. He had profound knowledge, and because of his total dedication to spiritual practices, and then very helpful nature, he was regarded with great respect. He had a son by name Sringin. Of course, he also was a sage. He had inherited his father's some of the mystical powers. He was young, but his one of the not worthy qualities was that he had a very fiery temper. Immediately he would get agitated and then react in a very catastrophic way. So that this fiery temper, this was in contrast to Shamika, his father's calm demeanor. So now they are living there. One sunny afternoon, one morning, King Parikshit, he was the ruler of the Kuru Dynasty. He was a great warrior, and then with lot of force, power, all those things. He just went on a hunting spree in the dense forest. Of course, Parikshit was known for his courage and sense of justice. But this particular hunt tested his patience. One particular hunt. Especially the kings used to go for hunting, so that the border areas where the border, the villages which was next to these thick forests, they would be attacked. The villages would be attacked by wild animals like tigers, cheetah, lions, all those things. As a king, he had a responsibility of ensuring that those people are protected. So they used to go and then hunt these animals. They used to kill these animals so that the villages in the vicinity would not get hurt by these villagers. Their cattle and other things would be safe. So this king Parikshit also went like this, and then suddenly he says a beautiful jinke, beautiful deer. He just aims at it, and then he leaves the arrow. But this arrow, just it touches the deer, it hurts it, and it doesn't kill that deer. So this is not killed. The deer is not dead. So it just escapes. And this king also, he wouldn't leave it. He just pursues it tirelessly. He goes on pursuing it, hoping to end the chase. But fate had some other tricks, for him on that day. The deer vanished somewhere, it just went into the dense undergrowth, and then king could not trace where it went. So now he is going back by all kinds of different routes, and he is just finding his way out from the woods, very thick woods. He was weary, he was frustrated also because he couldn't just trace that deer. The king, wandered deeper into the forest somewhere he went, and then he was feeling hungry, he was feeling tired, he was feeling thirsty. He had tired limbs. He wanted to take rest somewhere, he wanted to take rest. But suddenly, there on the way, he finds a peaceful ashram of sage Shamika. He sees some ashram, he sees some hermitage where this sage Shamika was living. He was just sitting under the banyan tree and then meditating. He was meditating. The king comes there, and then King Parikshit comes in front of him, and then he asks the sage. He was frustrated. All kinds of things were there. All kinds of fatigue. He asked, of course, with some respect only. He asks, "Oh, revered sage, oh great sage, have you seen a wounded deer passing this way?" He just asked him, "Did you see this? Some wounded deer going this way?" But Shamika was silent because he was observing a woe of silence. That day he didn't want to speak anything, anywhere, anything, nothing, he just kept silent. He did not respond, not even he did not show anything. The king asked again and again, louder and louder, so that Shamika could hear. But still there was no reply because he was totally, he was Shamika, he was observing this silence. Mauna Vrata, it is called as Mauna Vrata. He was observing that. Mauna means silence, Vrata means pursuing that. Now this king doesn't know that he is observing this silent woe and Mauna Vrata. He is getting agitated. It's boiling within him. He thinks that this sage is ignoring him. I am the ruler of this world. I am the master. I am the king of entire this area. But this rishi, this sage, is ignoring me. So he was very furious. Parikshit's judgment, it was not clear. It was all clouded. He did not, he thought that he was being insulted. Therefore, he decided to insult this sage also. So while going, he saw some dead snake there nearby. He saw some dead long snake. He saw that. He picked it up and then put this snake onto the sage's shoulders or to the snake's neck. He put it on him as an act of insult, so that he instant. And then he just went out of the ashram. His heart still burning with frustration. He just moved out of the ashram. Now, after some time, Sringin, the sage's young son, he comes back. He returns to the ashram. He sees his father sitting under this banyan tree, and he sees a snake around his father's neck, dead snake, lifeless snake around his father's neck. He was filled with uncontrollable anger. He was. So he just, who dares insult my father? The great sage Shamika, he roared. Who is that fellow? My father Sri Shamika has been insulted like this. Of course, he finds out later. He finds out immediately through some passers-by and then some mystical powers also. He Sringin discovered that the culprit who did this was none other than King Parikshit. Parikshit, king himself, had done this. Now this Sringin is even more enraged, and he cursed the king with a very powerful curse. He says, within 7 days from today, a mighty serpent, Takshaka, his name was Takshaka, was a mighty serpent. It will come and then strike you and then kill you. See, this is the Shapa, this is the curse that I have been giving, that he has done. He put it on Takshaka for the disrespect he has done to his father Shamika. Now Shamika, after all his Mauna Vrata, he is awake from his meditation. He saw something like this. He removed the snake from his shoulder, threw it, and then he set aside. And in front of him, he saw his son Sringin standing. And then he saw his face, and then he was angry. He could immediately realize that what Sringin has done. He also came to know that Sringin has cursed King Parikshit. He said, Sringin, what have you done? He asked his son. Of course, Sringin narrated the entire events. Even now, he was not calmed down. He was just still furious. His voice was trembling with fury. His all anger on the king. Shamika, his father, was, however, he was disheartened. He advised his son, my son, the sage's power, a Rishi's power lies in his restraint and forgiveness. These two are the main characteristics one should have. A sage should have. He should forgive whatever the mistakes are there. You should forgive that. And you should have some restraint on whatever that happens. You should have some restraint. Parikshit, he acted out of momentary anger. He is a king. You are a sage. So it has not done any harm to me. His putting of the snake has done. I am not harmed by this. But your curse will bring unnecessary sorrow to so many people. And a king's death means it will unsettle the kingdom. King is the head of the country, head of the province or wherever kingdom. If he dies, then the kingdom will become, uh, there can be enemies who can attack it, and then who attack the kingdom, and then put lot of loss to the kingdom. So why did you not think all these things? And then you should have showed compassion. Now these were the things, which Shamika uttered to his son Sringin. Of course, now the son Sringin, he realizes his mistake. He bows down his head in shame. But the curse could not be undone. The curse which he had given, it cannot be taken back. Shamika sent a message to King Parikshit. His father sent a message to Parikshit, warning him that there is going to be some, impending doom on your life. There's some kind of a thing like this. My son has cursed you. Now, when the message comes to Parikshit, the king, he also just remembered what are all the actions he had done. In his actions with lot of remorse, he said to himself, I have wronged a sage, I have not properly acted with the sage. He admitted, I accept this curse as a consequence of my misdeed. Say, I have done some mischievous thing, some wrong thing. I will accept the curse. I will accept the this thing for that. So that was the greatness of kings. That was the greatness of great kings, great sages, great people. So now, in the 7 days that followed, Parikshit, within 7 days, he renounced his throne. All these worldly attachments, he just removed. He removes all his worldly attachments. He dedicates fully himself to spiritual pursuits, and he started listening to the divine Bhagavatam. So many other scriptures he starts listening to that. So his transformation inspired his people, reminding them of the power of humility and the fleeting nature of life. Life is never always certain, it is momentary. All these lessons, they learn. So, this story of sage Shamika and King Parikshit, it stands as a timeless reminder. Anger and disrespect can lead to grave consequences. Disrespect from the king's side and the anger on the Sringin side. It led to a very grave consequence of the curse on the king, the shapa on the king, where he would be bitten by a snake and then he would die. But again, acceptance and repentance, they give way to your spiritual growth. Story, it shows the importance of forgiveness even when somebody does some wrong thing, and the power of wisdom to transcend anger. This is what the story tells us. It's a very interesting story from the Mahabharata. I hope you have enjoyed the story. Please like, share, and then subscribe to my channel. Please post your comments in the comment box. Of course, for the benefit of the readers, we have put the story in the description box. Thank you, viewers, once again for your valuable time. Thank you.